Ragazzi, we're here at RevTech Performance with Rinos. I don't know if you are the CEO, the founder, the constructor, the one that invented Who are you in here?
So I'm just a mechanic that opened up a company, and now I'm managing it.
You're a perfect example. Somebody who starts the mechanic and then says, you know what, let me do it myself. Let me open this.
Yes. Yes.
And even though I talk about finance a lot, I believe that cars and finance goes hand in hand. Whether it's a passion or it's your means to go somewhere, it goes hand in hand because it can make you, it can break you, the car represents you. There's so many things that are involved with cars and finances. And being at the mechanic's shop is perfect because he knows everything when it comes about cars. So the first thing I wanted to start out with is for the average human being that doesn't know shit about cars, because I see people here buying cars that they don't even know anything about. If you're starting from scratch, if you're starting out in life, you're young, or you want something that is reliable, that is good, that you're gonna keep for 20 years, as a mechanic that saw millions of cars, what do you believe is the best option? Let's start with something boring and then give me two other options that are a little bit more fun, but still in the same category.
The first car that you're going to drive obviously has to do with what you're going to use it for. So if you're just commuting, if you're just going to school, you're going to want to get the thing that is the least infringing on your budget, the thing that you can make sure that you can pay for and you don't have to worry about it breaking down. I always suggest to my clients Toyota platform vehicles just because they have failure points that are known and they're always the same failure points, so you can budget for them. You know that that's what's going to happen. If you buy
anything with a Toyota badge.
Anything with a Toyota badge.
What about year?
A what?
What about years? Like
years?
Any year is fine, or do you have a specific year that I believe, or time period that is
So
your favorite? If well maintained.
The year question is very dependent on what you can still get parts for. So like if the most reliable ones are the ones that are built in the 90s. However, it's more and more difficult to find parts readily available, so you might wait like a week or something like that for, let's say, an old distributor or something like that.
But I can still find it.
You can still find them.
As long as I can still find it.
You can still find it. When you get into the older Toyota variants from the 70s and 80s, you can't find parts for those anymore. Good luck.
No.
Yeah. But as you get towards like, let's say 2020, like where they start incorporating LED lights, and all sorts of technology and infotainment, it starts getting more expensive because let's say you have a Corolla, which might be a $20,000 car. If you get in a light fender bender in the front, those lights are still $2,000, $3,000 from the factory, and that is prohibitive if you don't have good insurance to cover it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about if you want to get something still reliable, slightly more exciting? Because what you were talking now is you're talking about Corollas, you talk about Camrys,
Sure.
You talk about what else? In terms of SUVs, Toyota SUVs?
Like Highlander, RAV4, whatever, yeah.
Highlander RAV4, okay.
If you want something more exciting, like they have their BRZ platform, which is a cross between...
The BRZ is a reliable car?
Yes, it is. Well, the reason why I stutter here is because most people that buy them, that starts off like stock, they start upgrading it and tuning it, and then like if you buy one of those off of someone, it's probably been beaten up and it will be more prone to failure because the kid that bought it was racing it, and
But as a platform, it's like if I have
they're great.
stock, they go.
They're great.
They go.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so I can still have fun with something reliable.
Yes.
Okay. What about a purist car that can still get the job done? And this is the last one.
Well, so a purist car, you mean like a not cross-platform car? Well, Toyota doesn't currently build a purist.
It doesn't have to be Toyota.
Or,
it's something
okay.
you say, you're entry level, I give you $10,000 and you're going to have to keep this car for the next 10 years and you're not making a lot of money and you will still want to have fun with it, what would it be?
$10,000 right now, there's not very much.
I know you fuck around on Facebook. Right. I know you yourself.
Like my go-to is BMW, right? But this is like right on the line of when there is a problem, it's going to cost you. Right.
I understand.
But the thing
I have BMW.
The thing is, fun costs money, and that's really what it comes down to. If you can find like a 125, 128, or 135, like around 2010, you'll get it for around 10,000 or less. The 135 will be beat up. It will have a lot of power, but because it had a lot of power and it's now 15 years old, I probably went through one or two owners that really beat it up, and if the people didn't take care of it previously, you're going to be doing oil pan gasket, valve cover gasket, oil filter housing assembly, and those are each like $2,000-3,000 a piece. So
But
you're going to end up spending the whole car again.
Cars that you can work on yourself still.
I mean, you could do this yourself too, but like, how far are you going to go into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I don't have to open up the engine completely, I'm still fine with it.
Well, then it's not going to be BMW, right? all German cars have their weird oil leak problems or weird timing problems. Like every Volkswagen 2-liter is going to have an oil leak around their upper timing cover. Some of the engines it's easier to replace, some of them it's not.
Okay, which you were talking earlier about cars and finding parts, which then leads me to the next question, which is about how cars are being built now. If you look around here, we have super old generations, we have older generations, we have a new GTI there, we have something in the middle. This has pretty much the same engine as mine. Is it being harder now to work on these cars, on newer cars? Does it take the same amount of time? Is it built for still being maintained, or is it built to just be replaced? There's the whole conversation about planned obsolescence and stuff. You're a mechanic.
Yes, yeah. So basically, ever since computer-aided drafting came around, which is like, it's been mostly utilized in the 90s and above, like late 90s and above. The game plan of the manufacturer now is to build a car that's inexpensive to manufacture, so that way they can increase their profit margins, per car sold.
So you're pushing the conversation from what you see on media, which is planned obsolescence, more into simply cost cutting.
Well, it's cost cutting, and okay, basically the issue here is that there's a lot of competition now. So BMW, Mercedes, Audi will build let's say BMW has their M car, Mercedes has their AMG, yep. Mercedes has their S and R lines. The engineer will build the perfect car, and then they'll take it to accounting, and accounting will say, well, BMW builds their M3 for $6,000 less. You have to figure out how to cut this money out of the design. So they'll go back to their design, and they'll go through and they'll say, now, I'll take this metal out here, I'll take this metal out there, we won't put this feature in here, we won't put this feature in there, so that they remain equal to their competition, right? And what usually ends up happening with this is they'll make a design so that the car is manufactured cheaper, but then it will cost more money to fix it later. A prime example of this is, like we talked about before, I had a Cadillac 3.6 liter that basically we needed to replace
the CTS?
It was a CT6.
CT6, okay.
Right, and basically what we had to do was we had to replace the timing chain. And in doing so with the timing chain, they decided not to put any marks on the cylinder heads or the block of the engine to align any of the chains.
90% of engines.
The older engines, yes. The newer ways to time cars usually requires a lot of special tools and things like that. This doesn't require any special tools, but you can't set the time or check the timing without taking all the chains off and relating it off the first chain. But in order to do that, you have to take the oil pump drive off. So on this car, you can get the first timing chain off in 2 hours, right? The whole front of the engine comes out, you can do it in the car, and you get down to the second chain. There's one bolt that comes out of the oil pump that you have to remove to take that chain out. And that bolt requires an additional 25 hours of labor where you have to take the engine out of the car, take the oil pan out just to remove that one bolt.
Because the oil pan touches the bolt.
Because the oil pan touches the bolt. It's one bolt, 25 hours.
So a 2-hour job becomes a 27-hour job.
Because of one bolt. And I've seen this more and more recently. This is not necessarily a problem for me because mechanic shops make
you make money
off time, right? But this basically forces the regular consumer to not be able to, or not attempt to do the job themselves, and give it out and end up spending $3,000-4,000 more than what could have been a very simple fix. Like if Mercedes designed this oil pan, they would have put a plug where you could take the plug out, you could take the bolt out, and continue your work.
Explain this in monetary terms, like designing as they're designing today. Such a change makes a job that is worth how much?
So,
If it was a 2-hour job,
well, I can
give me a difference in pricing.
I can explain this like with a company culture that still utilizes the old way, where
Yeah.
they're like, we can do that, you can do this yourself. Honda is like this. So Honda's timing belt is on all of their V6s. You have to change it every 80,000 miles or 10 years. It's still made out of rubber.
It's a belt.
It's a belt, right?
Is it dry or is it?
It's a dry belt. We'll talk about wet belts in a second because we have a wet belt car here. We have a wet belt car here that the oil pump is
That's
driven by a wet belt.
Stellantis is fucking up their engines badly.
Well, this is GM, but Stellantis does
yeah, but
it too.
Stellantis started doing it 5 years ago.
There are some other companies that do it too. I don't like the idea of a wet belt. That when they come apart, they clog everything, right? But anyway, that's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
So Honda's V6, you can replace the timing belt that drives all of the valve train components in like 3 hours.
Okay.
All right, you can do this yourself. It'll take you like, if you're not a mechanic, it
6
might take you
hours.
6 hours. Okay, cool.
Double it.
All right.
Give it an extra person.
Anything that's a chain these days, like it's 2, 3, 4 day job, right? Audi's S4 V8, the original one that's like from the early 2000s, right? They put all the chains on the wrong side of the engine. You have to take the engine and transmission out, separate it on the ground. There are 5 or 6 chains. It's a 40-hour job, and it's really easy to make a very simple mistake and mess it all up, and you have to do it again.
Okay.
Right? Like
You're
many
talking
shops
about
don't.
hours, so-
Yeah, many shops don't even want to touch. They won't touch it.
Okay. Let's put it this way. It's thousands of dollars of difference.
Yeah.
Thousands
Thousands of
of
dollars.
difference.
Yeah.
Just because of an engineering fault.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, a company choice.
This is a design choice that you can't. The answer is not simple, right? Some cars you can't fit things places. Some like Audi, for example, all of their engines sit in front of the axle. So let's say your axle's
Yeah.
here, the engine has to sit in front of the axle because of their modular platform. So if you have like a W12, V10, whatever
Yeah.
engine, it has to fit in front of the front axle. So Audi will condense their crankshafts and put all their pistons super close to each other, and they can't spare the space in front of the engine for the rest of the parts because that engine has to fit in all of their modular, assemblies.
Here we're going into supercar territory. I'm talking
Well,
about, but
I mean, you could say the same thing about Fiat. The old Fiat, like from 1970, engines out of the car in 30 minutes, do whatever you're going to do, put it back in.
built an entire Fiat engine with 2 tools and half a day.
And they give you the tools when you buy the car. Back
Also
then,
true.
yeah. Right.
Also true.
This Carmen Ghia up here, it's a 1976 Carmen Ghia. You can take the whole engine out of the car in
With the provided tools.
30 minutes with the provided tools. You put it on your shoulder, you put it on the table, you do what you need to do, you put it back in, right? The new Fiats, the new Beetles, it's not like that, right? And the reason why it's not like that is because of line manufacturing procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about the wet belts. What the fuck happened the past 5 years? Why did we choose wet belts?
Wet
it's
belts.
Still cost cutting.
They,
Really?
they've been around for a while. I honestly have not looked into it enough to give a professional opinion of why they decide to do that. Because
It has proven faulty every single time, though.
well, yes and no. So
Explain.
it depends on how the manufacturer has decided to write it as a wearable part or a non-wearable part. So let's say that you have a chain. The chains are supposed to be like for life. Like life doesn't mean like for the life of forever. It means for the life of their design, life of the car, right? So usually 100,000 miles, something like that. Everything you get after that is free, okay? That's like the idea.
Okay.
Because they don't build
So
vehicles
whenever
that...
you see life, it's not life. It's just a specific
It's
amount.
until you're supposed to buy the next car,
Okay.
all right? Which is usually
100,000 miles.
100,000 miles. They should have a variant in. You go trade your car in, you buy the new one, life continues. The old way of thought is whatever you buy is yours forever.
Yep.
With the new cars, it's not like that anymore. That's like with all the computers, all the things, you're not going to be able to keep it perfect forever. So what I'm conveying here is, let's say Ford had an Escape, like one of the first generations of the Ford Escape, early 2000s.
Okay.
They realized that there was a problem with the wheel bearings, right,
Yes.
with like the design. So before the vehicle was released, after they decided that they had a problem with the wheel bearings, they added into the maintenance record, change your wheel bearings every 60,000 miles. Now it's a maintenance item. So if your wheel bearing fails, it's like, it's a maintenance item, no warranty, just get it fixed.
You
So
just went around the problem.
they went
No
around
warranty
it. So
okay.
I believe that the wet belt is a similar
It's a maintenance
scenario.
item.
They know that there's problems, or they didn't design something that might have been like forever. Like oil pumps, we always believe are forever things, right? But like if you know you're gonna have a problem, all right, we'll put a maintenance thing next to it, and now you have to maintain it.
I'm an alfista, okay? Oil pumps are not forever.
Okay. So like that.
Alfista 1970s Alphas.
Okay,
They're not
that's
forever.
that's because we're all like in BMW racing, and like you already know, yeah, we know, right? But for a regular consumer, I mean, you buy a Toyota Corolla, you will never replace an oil pump, ever. Which is also the reason why, it's why I recommend that car for someone that doesn't want to look at it again. They don't want to maintain their car. If you buy a Toyota Corolla and you change your oil every 20,000 miles, you'll still keep driving it. It's okay. Yeah.
How out of 10 buyers, how many buyers underestimate the maintenance of something? You work with supercars too, so
Sure.
How many people buy a car, they think they can afford that sports car, supercar, and then realize that the actual expense is maintenance of it?
I have a very biased opinion here because I service a lot of people that, although they didn't want to budget the money for it, they had the money to do it.
Yeah.
There's the other kind of client that I have that they wanted a Maserati all their lives, and I have 2-3 people like this. They go and they buy it, and I say, don't buy this car. You will spend $10,000 a year, $15,000 a year fixing this thing. It has 60,000 miles, and that's end of life for Maserati. And he buys the car anyway. He drives it, it's falling apart. He doesn't have the money to fix it. He keeps driving it. And then finally he's like, all right, someone wrote me a $30,000 estimate to fix this car, and it's still like, we don't know if this is enough. And I'm like, okay, he trades it in. He buys the Lexus LS 460, which is the Toyota.
I saw with Lambo all the time, especially used Lambos ships.
Well, also the used, like, the thing about the Lambos is who buys them, like the used ones, the kids.
My first Lamborghini will be a manual Gallardo, which is, I know, I understand. If I will plan for it. It's just the childhood dream and the gated gear shift. And I work for Lambo, so it's personal. And I know it comes at a cost.
I appreciate that, like, that idea.
Yes.
If I were to buy a Lamborghini, my first Lamborghini would be a Huracan. And the reason is because it's an Audi and I can get the parts cheaper.
Yes,
and that's basically it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though the later models of the Gallardo were in common with the R8.
Yeah. But I still prefer an RS Q8 than an Urus. Right?
I cannot say this. I used to work for them.
I cannot say it. Yeah.
I cannot say best. Need the fifth. I use the fifth.
Yeah, there you go.
That's funny. No. But yeah, that's a typical thing. Another very important thing that I see all the time, and I'm asking you this from a different point of view. My father is in aviation. He loves planes. One thing they do is preventive maintenance. In planes, you need it, at least if something breaks. I mean, plan A, plan B, plan C, they always double check everything. There's so many, how do you call them?
Procedures and policies
yes,
and FAA rules.
What are your thoughts with cars with preventive maintenance? Like, I'm getting to a point. Should I replace something or should I wait until it breaks?
Okay, so there are 2 ways to go about this in thought. Right, one of them is if you have some kind of warranty, right? So let's say you buy a vehicle and it has like a manufacturer's warranty, and the warranty requires you to have done the transfer case fluid, done the transmission fluid. If you have a Porsche 911, change the spark plugs every 2 years, even if you drove the car 1 mile. It's part of it. I will say that you should do the maintenance because that's what's required to keep the warranty. You'll lose the warranty.
Another thing that people don't that's one thing I saw in dealerships. When I was working at dealership, people would not do the things that were required. And
the reason why they
warranty issues would show up,
And the reason why they bought the car at the dealer is for the warranty, and they didn't do the thing to keep the warranty.
Especially with the certified pre-owned.
Yes.
That's another thing
Yes.
I saw often.
It's 10, 15 years old. You spent $10,000 on it. It's, you know, high-end Camry or whatever. You could just drive it till whatever component breaks and just fix the thing that breaks. But the point of changing the fluids and doing the maintenance items around the systems is to prevent those items from breaking. So like,
talk about, that's normal maintenance. When I talk about preventive maintenance, I talk about water pumps. Like, you know, it's gonna fail. Probably
no, you got to do that. You got to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, but here's the thing. What manufacturers will do is they'll put like the water pump in the timing belt. So if you're gonna do the timing belt,
I'm gonna do the water pump.
You're gonna do the water pump, right? There are certain manufacturers that they don't have interference engines. Like if you have a timing belt on a Honda, all those engines are interference. If the belt breaks, the engine's trash.
You destroy everything.
Yeah, that's it. But all Toyotas, most Toyotas, like the majority of the engines that are on the road are non-interference. So if the timing belt breaks, it doesn't matter, right? So, I mean, if you never leave your hometown and your mechanic shop's between your house and your work, sure, whatever, drive it until the timing belt breaks, tow it to the mechanic, have them put it on. You might get 150,000 miles out of your 100,000 mile timing belt. But the money you're gonna lose in doing the work, you're still gonna do the work.
Okay.
Right? The money you're gonna lose in the tow and like standing on the side of the road for an hour, for like all day or whatever, is that worth
the risk?
The risk and the money you're gonna save by not doing it? Probably not. And the way things are going now with inflation and tariffs and
are people waiting more to do maintenance?
People are not waiting more to do maintenance, but the more you wait, the more expensive it gets by the month. So
in terms of inflation or damage you're doing to the car?
Inflation and damage. Okay. So like, let's say all the parts today are 40% more expensive than they were in 2019, like on average. Are you okay? You're gonna wait a year to do your timing belt and spend another 20% or whatever on the parts? Like, who knows what's gonna happen with the tariff agreements?
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably more prudent to fix it when it's due instead of wait a year and spend more for it. Okay. Like, I waited to get a set of tires for my race car, and basically what I ended up doing was I ended up paying $100 more for 4 tires instead of just buy it when I needed them, because I'm like, yeah, I'll get it later, I'll get it later. Yeah. So like
I think I have 3 sets in my house in Virginia.
Well, you gotta also be careful with the race tires, because like when they get older, rubber.
Nah, I keep them max for 1 year. I use them on the track, and then
okay,
I'm gonna use them.
Okay, so I mean that's a different story than
they're not being left there for 5 years.
Yeah,
no, we use them.
And if you've ever driven on tires that are like 5 years old, you'll notice that they wear out a lot faster. Yeah.
I mean, I remember I bought a Lancia Fulvia, 60-year-old car. Mm-hmm. Still the original tires. Just to go back home, I had to replace them.
Yeah.
They were like literally crumbling. So yeah, that was crazy. I got one last question. I was thinking about it because when I walk into the shop today, I noticed you have a lot of young people working here, and it's something I haven't seen in a while. Having worked 5 years in automotive,
so
are young people still interested in this? You're a little bit biased because you see them, but is there high demand for this job?
So the automotive service industry is a dying industry. When I say dying, I don't mean like it's going to disappear, but I mean there's a lot less interest in pursuing a career in automotive mechanics. Like there's interest in being an engineer, there's interest in chemical engineering, there's like in the high-end stuff. But this started when I was in my school. Basically, they pushed for everyone to go get higher education. So what ended up happening was there was less wanting to do vocational studies.
Now you get a lot of overqualified people, and none of them can find a job anymore.
You will see this everywhere at all mechanic shops. There are Jiffy Lubes where like they hire people that don't even know how to unscrew a bolt. Or they don't know that engines need oil. It's very scary. I've been finding it much more difficult to find candidates to fill certain roles. either they're old and, you know, they won't change their ways or they won't learn the new stuff, or they're too young and they have a lot of drive that they want to do this, but they don't have any experience. I played with the idea of having a school here, but our environment is too go to like really focus on educating like on the fly.
Can people make it a career?
Yeah, you can make it a career.
Can it be a career? Can you make a good income, above average income, by being a mechanic nowadays?
So
Based on what you just said.
you can. It depends on.
You know what the average income in America is, right?
80,000.
55.
Okay, then
That's
yes,
in America.
everyone here makes a everyone.
In Virginia is 70 per person,
Okay.
40 per family.
Okay, so
Give it five. So a mechanic working for 5 to 10 years, can they make way above average
yes.
income?
Oh yes. Yeah. Right, but they'll be working forever. It's not like they if they stop working, they stop getting paid.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Couple that with that was the conversation we were having the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Couple that with a slow financial education, investing in education. You start at the age of 18, you start working, you start making career, make more money, save a little bit, invest. You may don't have to work for the rest of your life if you do it for 20, 30 years.
So this is a personal preference on how people live their lives. The people that want more money faster will do mechanical work, hands-on work. Like you'll get paid much more faster, but you'll kind of like plateau out. You're not going to do more than $150,000 a year.
Okay.
Or if you do, it's going to be, you're really grinding to go over $150,000
Okay.
a year. Or you're in such an environment that like you're in an assembly line.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. But I mean, like that guy who's doing $150,000 a year is running like BMW's dealership.
Okay.
Or they're doing the same timing chain on the same engine over and over and over again, so they can do a 10-hour billable in 3 hours, and then they do 3 of them a day, every day, forever,
Okay.
you know. And then that also
So it's
really,
a mix of being efficient and working a lot.
yeah, I mean, like the real thing is, you're only gonna make that top dollar if you're really, really good and people really, really want you, or you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and that's all the work you get.
And do you have a lot of competition as a person that is getting in this world, or not?
Right now, if you're a really good mechanic, you don't have very much competition. right?
Everybody wants you.
Everyone wants you, and like there's pros and cons that come with that too. Like you might end up at a shop that they don't know what they're doing,
Yep.
and then like you wasted your time there. Or you might end up at a shop that they're gonna work you for every dollar that they're paying you, and you're gonna be running from the day you step in there to the day you leave.
Would your world be a better place if everybody would be able to do a slight amount of maintenance on their cars and only bring your cars here for important stuff? Or if everybody was an obsolete human being?
So, there's pros and cons to both things. So like the pro of everyone having a fundamental understanding of how to work on a vehicle
Okay.
means that when you say, hey, we're going to do this job, they know what you're going to do.
Okay.
And they say, all right, you know what, I appreciate that you're going to do it because I'm not going to do it, right? The con to that
I'm gonna
is-
let you do my rod bearings, so fuck them.
Exactly. But the con of that is we miss out all the easy work that like we can use to vet, or like fill the time in between. So like this Supra here is a let's say your glass is filled with rocks and pebbles and sand, right?
Yeah.
You put the big rocks in first. That's a big rock. The Carmagia is a big rock. This BMW Z3M is a big rock, right? And then you have the smaller jobs, brakes,
Oil change, brakes and stuff.
yeah, and that's the sand, right? You can't fill up the shop with sand and then do this stuff. You have to do your
Okay.
big rocks and then your smaller rocks and whatever, and
Okay.
like make everyone dynamic around all these
Everybody
jobs.
can change their oil if you live in an apartment.
Well, unless you're driving an air-cooled 911, and then you're gonna have a lot of hard time because you have to make sure that the temperature is correct, the thermostat's open, you make sure you got your 4 gallons out of
Yeah.
it, you make sure you put your 4 gallons in it, you make sure you do your cycle. It's a 2-hour process.
Yep.
Right? And like someone who moves from a Corolla to a 911, they'll break the engine.
Yep.
Right? Free Jiffy Lube breaks every air-cooled Porsche that goes through it because they don't know
100%.
the procedure. 1/4 of the oil that's supposed to have.
How many people tend to go for the cheapest option and it tends to damage them?
This goes back to what car do you recommend to
Yes.
someone that doesn't know anything about cars,
Yeah.
right? This is like the question that you have like for the doctor. Why don't you just give me the pills that'll fix me, right?
Yeah.
It's not that simple, right? Like this interacts with that and that interacts with that, and like I don't want to give you something that's going to damage you over time or whatever. There's never going to be a understanding of what happens in the shops, because that's why we're the professional that does this. We're the guys that have the understanding. We don't question the doctor, right? They have the understanding,
Yep.
right? You might have a basic idea. Like I have a basic idea of like procedures that the hospitals have, but that's about it, right? Like I can't tell them how to do their job, and people shouldn't tell us how to do our job either, right? But you know, the difference between paying a hospital for a failed procedure or paying us for a failed procedure is that we won't get the money. The hospital they'll get their money no matter what.
Money no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, that's another hard one. I got a last one for you, and you're biased.
Sure.
I still want your opinion. Would you rather go to a private shop with your car or to the dealership shop of your brand?
Okay, so.
And except for when you actually need the specific tools that only they have, but.
So back in the day.
And I know it's a very open question.
Yeah.
Take your time to respond to it.
I'll give you like segments here.
Yeah.
So back in the day when the dealers were the only guys that actually worked on those brands, like let's say back before there was Euro support in the United States, you had to do that, right? But even today, if you bring your 911 to Porsche and it's 10 years old, they're going to say, we're not going to touch it, right?
It's Porsche.
They're going to say, buy the new one, trade this one in, we'll work on the new one. So you have to go find.
But dealerships make money with service.
But they also don't have the mechanics that they can trust to do the work now because of the void of skilled labor. Everyone's fighting to keep
I remember
their
when
good guys.
in my dealership they were hiring the porters to do basic service jobs. That's how desperate they were.
Yes. So like in dealerships where they're very well staffed, yeah, they'll do a good job because they'll have the right people. But right now, no one's well staffed. Everyone has either 1-2 guys that know everything and like 100 people that don't know anything. And like that's why all the dealerships are doing are fluids, filters, and all right, warranty's over, we're not touching the car anymore, right? So like sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to find a private shop that will work on your car.
So it's not even a matter which one is better. It's a necessity that you might have to go to a private shop.
If someone brought this Toyota Supra to Toyota today, they'll say, we don't know how to work on this. And they will turn them away.
That is sad, though.
It's the world we live in today.
That is sad. You go through this brand specific and...
So, but I mean, like, don't lose hope. In like the next 5 years or so,
it's got to come back.
It's a swing, right? So everyone went to college. No one has the jobs that they like. The pendulum swings the other way. People don't go to college. They go to vocational schools. They learn trades. And then that gets flooded, and then it swings back, and it's forever, right? So right now, everyone's educated, and no one knows how to use their hands. In 5 years, it's going to be the other way.
And nobody wants to know, and nobody wants to use their hands.
Yeah.
It's not even nobody knows. Nobody wants.
Well, they also don't want to work. I mean, if you wake up and like you log in, you roll over in your bed and you log into work and you get paid your $60,000 a year.
People don't seem happy about it, though.
Well, I mean, if you feed your girlfriend every day and then you stop feeding her, she gets mad at you.
Yeah.
All right. It's the same story here, right? People have been trained now that they will get the money easily, and when they have to work for it, they get upset. This is widespread, and like eventually, they will learn how to work again, and they will enjoy working again, but it's going to be some time.
A few days ago, he replaced the alternator on my car while we were going on a trip. And even though it was a pain, the fact that the car broke down, it was still pretty fun. Like, you could see you were enjoying it. I actually took it as a personal challenge. I wanted to do it quicker than what the website said.
Yeah.
You can see you like it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no, it was great. We did an alternator on the side road in Philadelphia in 30 minutes.
35.
Yeah,
35.
45 minutes in between parties.
I don't know how we woke up on that.
Yeah. Anyway,
thank you.
It's been great to be on your cast.
Thank you for having me. Amazing.